Hey guys, Chris here from Fastlane Academy, and in this video I'm going to address the very controversial question of can you sell your Amazon seller account? And you might be very surprised by the answer, and we've got a case study from 3 former Amazon sellers who did just that, so let's get started. So selling on Amazon can be really tough, and you might have decided that, hey, it's not worth my time or capital anymore, or maybe you just weren't making much money off of it and it's just not worth it. You just want to make a clean exit, and that's okay. And so you're probably wondering, if you found this video or you're on this page, if you can sell your Amazon seller account rather than just closing it out, canceling it, and just walking away with nothing. Now, I have seen this question come up on a lot of the Facebook groups and forums that I'm in for Amazon sellers, and it seems to be extremely controversial, and I've even seen some Facebook groups that don't even allow you to ask this question. So obviously it piqued our curiosity and we wanted to find out. And so what we found out was, contrary to popular opinion, the answer is yes. And in fact, your seller account's probably worth several hundred, maybe even several $1,000s, depending on how old it is and some other factors. But from our research, I'm going to present what we found. Now, I'm not going to get into any debates, either way, but it's something that a decision you have to make on your own. So let me first discuss, before we get into that, some things that you want to consider before you do that. Now, since this is such a controversial subject, let me give you a disclaimer, okay? As with all major business decisions or transactions, you should seek legal counsel from a licensed business attorney. Fastlane Academy doesn't offer legal advice, and the information in this video or on our website should not be construed as such and used only for informational purposes. So now that that's out of the way and the attorneys are happy, let's continue. Okay, so let me first discuss a few factors that you probably want to consider before looking at this opportunity. And if you made, I would say, if your net profits per year with your Amazon business was at least $5,000 or more when you were selling on Amazon, and you were able to do that consistently for a year or more, then a better option for you would be selling your business through a regular business broker. You can find those online. There's a lot of them out there. Because usually you can sell your Amazon business if it's profitable for about 2 times net earnings. So if you were netting, say, $5,000 a month, $5,000 per year, and that's all you were making, then you could probably get about $10,000 selling the entire business. The seller account goes with it, but you're selling the entire business entity. Now, the broker, that do this, they do take fees, so you'd probably be walking away with around $7,000 or $8,000, which would be most likely more than you could get if you decided to sell just your account to one of the account brokers. So basically what you want to consider, though, is if you created a legal business entity like a corporation or an LLC, then selling your business through a broker means that you sell that entity with it, so along with your account. So if you wish to continue doing business under that entity, and you're just not going to sell on Amazon, but you're going to do other things under that business name, then it probably doesn't make sense to sell your entire business or your account, since that entity would be assumed with a sale. Also, if your Amazon seller account has been suspended, then obviously it's not worth anything. It really doesn't have any value. Or if you had a lot of negative customer feedback, I mean a lot, and you had a lot of performance notifications. Now, we all get performance notifications. Every Amazon seller does, but I'm talking about the really serious ones, like IP infringements and things that really put your account at risk. Then that would be considered high risk, and nobody's going to want to buy that. So in those cases, it probably doesn't make sense. But if your net profits were less than $5,000 per year, or you made no profits at all, maybe even lost money, and your account is still in good standing, even if it's been dormant for a while, then you probably want to explore the options that we're going to go over in this video about actually selling your Amazon account. Okay, so you probably might be wondering who would actually buy an Amazon seller account and why would they do this? And there's online Amazon brokers that actually buy and sell accounts. We did some research in this case study I'm going to go over with you here in just a minute. And we actually spoke with them to kind of get an idea of who their target customers were. And like we said, there's a lot of different reasons, but usually what they said was the two most common people who want to buy seller accounts are actually very successful Amazon sellers. Believe it or not, they want to purchase an additional account. A lot of them will have 2 or 3 accounts as a backup, just in case Amazon suspends their primary account. Because, if you've been on Amazon for a while and you've maybe been in some of the Facebook seller groups, you've probably seen a lot of people that have got suspended. Amazon is notorious for suspending sellers for frivolous, unjustified reasons. And that keeps a lot of successful sellers up at night, because of it. You can imagine, let's just say, there's a lot of sellers doing well over $100,000 a month. And, imagine you wake up one morning and all of a sudden your account is suspended and all of that is gone overnight, game over. Amazon only allows you to have 1 seller account for life. So a lot of them will buy backup accounts in case that happens. And then another popular reason is there's a lot of people overseas that want to sell on Amazon. They're not in the US and they don't qualify. Amazon won't give them an account because of their location, and they desperately want to operate a legitimate business, selling on Amazon, because they know that's where, the biggest, opportunity is for e-commerce. So buying an existing seller account is the only option that they have. Okay, so as tight-lipped as this subject is and as controversial as it is, we were actually really curious about the whole process, and so we wanted to put together a case study if we could. So what we did was we conducted some research online to try to find some of these Amazon account brokers that bought and sold accounts. And obviously our first concern was we wanted to make sure that they were legitimate and reputable companies that we could refer, if possible. And so what we did was we contacted 3 former Amazon sellers that we knew that had stopped selling a few years ago. And basically where they came from was, we were in a local group. As you can see here, I'm in Florida, and we were part of a local Amazon sellers group that used to meet up in Tampa, and this was years ago. And basically, a few of them kind of moved on. They didn't, do so well, or they just decided that they just weren't making enough for it to be worth their time. And I just noticed in some of the groups that several of them had moved on and didn't sell anymore. And all 3 of them weren't using their account. So what we did was we contacted them to find out, and we said, hey, we have found out about, these account brokers that buy and sell accounts, and, it's totally up to you, but we really want to kind of test this theory and perform an experiment. And so if you guys are interested in possibly selling your account, or at least contacting them and just seeing what the process is and getting that information back to us, we'd really appreciate it, and we would put it on our blog for everybody to find out about. And so what we did was all 3 of them actually were very interested in the opportunity. And so what we did was we provided them with the contact information for one of the brokers we found. We just picked one that just looked like he was the most legitimate one based on the websites. And so what we did was we said, hey, if you guys will contact them, go through the process, of course, do your due diligence, and research the company, make sure you're mindful of security and everything, but, handle it on your own and just report back to us with whatever your experience was. And so they did that. And a few days later, we were really surprised at the results. And basically what happened was, within a few business days, all 3 of them had actually sold their accounts to this broker, and each one of them got several $1,000s for their account. And that was interesting. Now, keep in mind, their accounts were older. There's a lot of factors that go into the valuation for these guys, but the older the account is, the more valuable it is. And all of them told us that it went really smoothly and quickly. And we were, of course, concerned about the security of it. We were like, how does it work as far as, do they pay you first? Do you have to give them the account first? How does that work? And basically what they said was the broker did like a screen share video meeting with them, and, to look at their account, just looked at their stats, their feedback and their performance notifications to make sure the account was in good standing and wasn't high risk. And then he made him an offer. And what they did was the broker actually transferred the money to them. I think they used PayPal, which was really secure. And they got the money first. Once they received funds and confirmed the receipt of the funds, they were paid. Then the broker arranged a second meeting to transfer all of the details over. And so, you know, it was pretty interesting. You know, it seemed pretty secure. And what was really interesting about the whole thing, you know, it actually made us feel really good because, you know, one of the guys in, you know, I won't reveal any of these guys' names, but, you know, one of them was actually having, you know, really tough time financially. And it was quite emotional because, you know, he thanked us numerous times. You know, he was behind on his bills and having a really hard time, you know, trying to make ends meet. He had launched just one product on Amazon, and, you know, he put everything he had into it, and it didn't do well. So he kind of lost all his savings. So he was able to get, you know, pretty much all of that back and a little bit more. So, you know, it really helped him out. And, you know, it was kind of an emotional experience. So it made us feel good that we, you know, were able to help him out in that way. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'm not going to get into a moral or ethical debate over this subject. You can decide for yourself. You know, it's your situation. You decide whether this is right for you. So if you do decide that it makes sense for you and it's a good fit for you to sell your Amazon account, then what we did was we set up a page on our website where you can submit a form, and that broker that the 3 individuals in our case study used and we're very happy with will contact you about, you know, setting up a meeting to evaluate your account and possibly make you an offer for it. So if that's what you want to do, click on the link in the description below, go to that page, and there's some more information on that page. There's also a, you know, a disclosure there. We do have a referral agreement with that broker. Now, keep in mind that, once again, another disclaimer, Fastlane Academy, we don't own this company. You know, we don't buy or sell Amazon accounts. We're simply putting you in touch with it, with the broker, because, you know, a lot of Amazon sellers, they just don't know that their seller account is valuable. So, you know, we assume no liability. So you need to, you know, do your own due diligence and make that decision for yourself. So if that's what you want to do, click on the link, go to the bottom of the page, fill out the form, and they'll be in touch with you shortly. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed the information that I presented here today in this video. If you did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and that way you get notified whenever we make or post new videos, because we're going to be creating a lot of new videos this year about how you can make money outside of Amazon that you're not going to want to miss. So, hey, thanks for watching.